Behind me is Halligan Hall, home of DRMI, Defense Resource Management Institute. This year, DRMI turns 50, and to honor this occasion, we look to see how DRMI strengthens us and our allies.
Is 150, and for 15 bays is how much?
250.
250, okay.
Folks in the Department of Defense are really clamoring for more information, and so they are looking to us to continue to help them understand, how do I do something better? Managing government resources is never easy because there's so many things that you have to do because of legal or budget or other considerations that just don't happen in the private sector.
For those of us on faculty here that teach, we always get a lot of great experience working with various U.S. and international students. We cover all the services here in the U.S., as well as other DoD agency personnel, and then all the international countries and partner nations represented that send folks here. Really provides a great cultural learning environment for us, for them, the interaction.
We're able to interact with admirals and generals, and that was something I never expected coming out of graduate school, to be able to do stuff like that. DRMI is very unique. It's much different than really any academic institution I've ever been involved with.
At the senior level, we have folks who are things like the Surgeon General of Canada, who was our student 2 years ago in our senior course. The King of Jordan was our student. We've also had 2 former kings of other countries, many chiefs of staff, number of deputy directors or deputy ministers. Most recently, this summer, we had the Deputy Minister of Administration for Liberia. So we've had a number of folks whose political, economic, and other influence would be fairly large, particularly in their own countries, but also as part of the U.S. Security Cooperation Mission. These are opportunities for the U.S. and for students from other countries to work together and to have contacts when they go back to their more influential positions, to have somebody to pick up the phone and call or talk to, and we hope do a better job of getting along in the world. In residence, DRMI offers 3 main courses. We offer the Defense Resources Management course, which is a 4-week course for U.S. and international participants, and that covers the main points of the planning, programming, and budgeting system, not U.S., but a generic type system in which we think about better ways to make resource allocation decisions. We also offer a 10-week International Defense Management course for international students. We have an occasional U.S. student, but generally they're all international. This is an expanded version of the 4-week course that fills out some of the material on things like human resources and logistics in order to give internationals a little bit more time practicing and talking about some of the concepts. And then once a year, we have the Senior International Defense Management class, which is a flag and equivalent senior civilian level course. This is a more strategic level look at resource allocation. We also offer 1-week and 2-week courses, domestic and specialized topics. We have 4 or 5 active duty faculty, a number of people who served in the military who are now lecturers or senior lecturers. Also have civilians who serve in those roles. And then we have academic PhD faculty, and each of these groups brings something different to DRMI, something valuable that helps us have a culture where I think what we bring is the best of academics, the best of current operations, and the best of sort of practical professional knowledge.
It's a very interesting teaching and learning environment for us and the students. We go back and forth from giving a standard, lecture in front of all the students for about a 45-minute period, and then we go into smaller discussion groups where we get to break down and actually work with the students more hands-on, analyzing the type of material we just taught in the lecture in problems and case studies, so they get the chance to actually work through what we taught them in lecture. So it's very unique, and I really enjoy the opportunity to get in front of and work with them and see them really grasp the concepts and actually, as I like to say, get it over that discussion period, the concepts we taught in the previous lecture.
We're a close-knit community here. The relationship in the classroom builds upon that, and so it isn't just the time here. A lot of times I'll have them contact me even after classes are done.
As long as I think anybody remember, we have gone to locations in the U.S. and out, mostly out, as part of the defense security cooperation programs that the United States offers to teach anything from a 2 or 3 day workshop to a 2-week mobile international defense management course. This generally is to foreign nationals. Sometimes it's regional, often it's just country specific, and it can be anywhere from 20 to 40 plus students who come in to get a very concentrated experience in defense resources management.
I've definitely had a few mobile courses under my belt. This past year I went to Jordan. I've been to Malaysia a couple of times, Armenia a couple of times.
I was able to go to Honduras and teach for a week there. We're in Kosovo in Europe, at Fort Benning actually, at the Western Hemisphere's Institute for Security Cooperation, which focuses on teaching Central and South American countries. Challenging part of that is all those are taught in other languages, so we end up having to do a lot of translations, the use of interpreters, because most of us don't speak the language that we're actually teaching in, so that actually adds a challenging dynamic to the instruction and getting points across. But that said, it's a very unique opportunity, and you can see the impact that we have in a lot of these countries.
To be able to interact with the people, even when you're not in the classroom, being able to just take in their culture and experience things that you never had before, and then to help build relationships with their military and show them the best practices to use to help them build up their DoD infrastructure or program. We're really building friendships with a lot of these peoples. That goes a long way. It's hard to measure that, but I think that's really important.
You must do it this way, or in the U.S. we suggest this. That's not what we do. We talk about how you could do things better and what might work in different situations. So I think culturally we are very open, we are very American in the sense that we're casual and we're willing to talk about things as colleagues so that we can talk to each other about the ideas that we want to explore.